Morning folks, it's a beautiful crisp winter's morning here at Noth. Today I thought I might head out and do a bit of work in another area of the farm that we've got ideas for expanding to be able to provide more forage for the goats. It's an area of trees which the previous owners planted about 15 years ago, mostly broadleaf woodland. While we've been using it to keep the hens in over the years, or even last year we started putting the goats to graze underneath the trees. What we thought we might do is to start thinning out the trees a little bit and actually making a bit more of a productive area for the goats as a grazing system. So I'm going to go in there today with the chainsaw and just start removing some of the trees. So we've still got quite a lot of trees to work with. You can see how dense it is behind me. They've provided a good bit of protection for our house. We really used this area of woodland well over the last few years. We had our a flock of about 30 hens scratching around in here in our first year of our veg boxes. We also even grazed our Shetland cattle under these trees when we had the cows on the farm. And now we want to transform this into a better designed area for the goats. A little bit like the west field plans that we've got of creating a silvopasture. That's what we want to do here. But instead of planting trees, we've got to landscape these trees to make it more productive. So that means thinning them out, and also means trying to identify where there's relatively straight rows so that we can graze easily in between them with the goats in electric netting. It's mostly alder, birch, willow and a few Scots pine in this area that we call goat wood. So these are all good forage species for the goats, and what we're going to do once we thin them into rows, I'm going to pollard them. And pollarding is where we cut the trees above browsing height, so about maybe 4 or 5 feet off of the ground. The great thing about a lot of these native trees that we're working with is that if we cut them in dormant season, in the springtime they'll regrowth, and instead of growing up as one tree, they'll send out a big burst of several poles. We can then allow them to grow on and harvest them as tree hay when we want them. And now we're left with some nice brash for the goats to chew on. The smaller pieces of the trees are perfect for the goats to have a nibble. And then we've got these lovely lengths of wood now that we can chop up and season for our own firewood, so nothing's going to waste. How you doing folks? It's another day and we're going to get back to doing what we were doing yesterday, which was working on this area we call goat wood. It's not as nice a day as it was yesterday. It had quite a bit of rain overnight, but it stopped raining just now for the moment, so I thought I'd take that opportunity and come back and carry on with this job. So we finished yesterday afternoon after clearing 2 laneways. So you can see behind me the white cable represents where the tree rows that we identified and wanted to keep, and then we've been removing the trees that we need to thin. I know to some of you it might seem a bit destructive removing these trees, you know, they are lovely trees, but we really feel that we wanted this area to be more productive. Cutting them at ground level isn't killing them, they'll grow back anyway. They might have a bit of a struggle because of the goats grazing around them. We cleared 2 grazing laneways yesterday, so today, while the weather's good, I'm going to finish thinning out the trees in this 3rd alleyway, and then we'll really be able to see our rows of trees that we've got left, and I can decide which ones to pollard. By coppicing them, we are actually extending the life of the tree and making them a lot stronger and a lot more productive for us on our farm, for our farm needs. Hey!
Found one survivor, Kaylet.
Nice.
But obviously it's too far gone now because it survived and it should have been ready a couple of months ago. So they've exploded, but they're pretty, aren't they?
Yeah. What are you going to do with that then?
I don't know. Eat them.
Put it in a vase and stick it on a windowsill?
Yeah, exactly. They're very pretty. And look, so much stuff.
Oh, nice. Great.
We've got our chard. There's the Salanova lettuce. Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the Siberian kale. And then some parsley and some sprouts.
Great.
Lots of green.
Yum.
I'll put it with lots of cheese. That tastes good.
Alright, just taking a little break to refuel the chainsaw. You can see what we've been up to behind us. Rose is just dragging off the piles of brash and either putting it on a pile to season for kindling or taking it down to the goats to have a feed on. So it all looks a bit of a mess at the moment. Even I'm finding it a bit hard to see cutting down these trees. I love using the chainsaw, but I like trees as well. I'm really confident that we're making a good move here by thinning out this woodland to make it more productive for everyone that's involved on this farm. It's starting to rain, so I think I'm going to head in for some lunch. Ooh.
Bit too runny? Yeah. Mine's perfect. I'll have yours if you want.
I don't want you to eat mine, I want mine.
Good.
Good.
Good. Good.
Alright, so that's the end of the day. It's just starting to get dark now, and pretty much pruned out all the trees that we needed to move to be able to create pasture strips, and by doing that we've also created some rows of trees to divide the pasture. The next step would be to pollard the trees or coppice the trees, and also to plant some trees because there's some quite big gaps in these rows. So we'll probably coppice some of our own willow from other places on the farm, cut them into rods and plant them. But it's looking good. I mean, obviously it's pretty chaotic. There's wood everywhere and piles of brash, but we really are hoping that this is going to add to the productivity of the farm. Give the goats a really nice diet and place to be, and also make our life a lot easier. Rose is out helping me at the moment. Getting some brash, so we'll just do another 10 minutes or so before it's dark, I think. So I'm going to call it a day. If you like what you've seen, then please subscribe to the channel. We'd really love it if you could do that, and like the video, tell your friends, and we'll be bringing out more videos every week. We'll see you soon.